Okay, let's talk about something every leader thinks about. We pour so much time, so much money into developing our teams. But here's the big question. Is any of it actually working? Today, we're going to dive into how you can stop hoping your training is effective and start knowing it is. Let's get right into it. Think about your training budget. For most companies, it's a pretty significant investment, right? We're talking thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars per employee over their career. But are you getting a real return on that cash? See, without a clear way to measure success, that budget can feel like a total black box. You put money in, but what actual tangible value comes out the other side? And this is a huge blind spot for so many companies. The data is pretty shocking, actually. Only about 1/3 of employers even try to measure the financial impact of their training programs. Let that sink in. That means 2/3 are essentially just flying blind, hoping for the best, with no real way to connect their learning efforts to bottom-line results. This quote from the legendary management thinker Peter Drucker is really the core idea for our entire explainer today. Measuring your training success isn't just about justifying a budget to the higher-ups. It's about making every single learning opportunity better than the last one. You simply can't improve what you don't understand. So, where do we even begin? Well, the most common mistake is waiting until the training is already over to think about measuring it. Nope. Effective evaluation starts before you even book a room or send a calendar invite. It starts by clearly defining what success is even going to look like. You've got to know where you're going to know if you got there, right? It's that simple. This means setting crystal clear learning objectives and performance goals from the very beginning. These goals become your benchmark, your North Star, the yardstick you'll use to measure every single outcome. And this slide just nails the difference. Look at the goal on the left. Train managers on performance reviews. I mean, what does that even mean? How do you know if you succeeded? Now, look to the right. That is a SMART goal. It's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You know exactly what to measure employee satisfaction, and you have a clear target. One is a hope, the other is a concrete plan. Okay, so once your goals are locked in, you need a structured way to measure against them. And the good news is, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. There are proven, road-tested models out there that give you a complete 360-degree view of your training's real impact. The absolute gold standard for this is Kirkpatrick's 4-level model. The best way to think of it is like a ladder for evaluation. It takes you all the way from the most immediate gut reaction up to the ultimate impact on the business itself. It's such a powerful way to make sure you're not missing any part of the story. So let's walk up that ladder real quick. Level 1, reaction, that's the classic smile sheet. Did they like the trainer? Was the coffee good? Level 2, learning, asks, did they actually absorb the information? Level 3, behavior, and this is the critical one, are they actually using it back at their desks? And finally, level 4, results, ties it all back to the business. Did sales go up? Did customer complaints go down? Now here's where it gets really interesting. This chart shows where most companies get stuck. Almost everybody does level 1 surveys. It's easy, but just look at that massive drop-off. So few organizations actually check to see if all that learning translated into real, on-the-job behavior. This gap, right here, is the one we have to close. Okay, so how do we move past those simple smile sheets and start measuring the stuff that really matters? Let's get into the practical tools for gathering data, and we'll start with the one we all know, but can definitely make better, the post-training survey. I know, another survey. But don't underestimate how powerful a well-designed survey can be. When you do it right, it's not just about collecting opinions, it's about gathering hard, actionable data that tells you what worked, what didn't, and most importantly, why. It's your first and most direct line of feedback. A really solid survey goes way beyond just, did you like it? You want to dig into the specifics you see here. Was the material actually relevant to their job? How good was the trainer? And that last one is critical, the Net Promoter Score question. How likely are you to recommend this? That gives you a single powerful number you can track over time. And remember, you need to mix it up. You need both kinds of questions. The quantitative ones, like the rating scale on the left, give you quick, easy-to-track metrics. But it's the qualitative, open-ended questions on the right that give you the gold. That's where you find the specific, nuanced feedback that explains why you got the scores you did. But as we've said, surveys are really just level 1.
The real test of any training program is whether people actually learned something, and even more importantly, if they're using that new knowledge to change how they act at work.
So, how do we actually measure this? The trick is to use a mix of methods to get the whole story. Pre and post tests are fantastic for seeing that light bulb moment. Skill demonstrations prove they can actually do the thing. And then down the line, you look at performance data and get feedback from managers to see if the change really stuck.
All right, this brings us to the most important part of all. You've set your goals, you've used a framework, you've collected all this incredible data. So, what now? You can't just let it sit in a spreadsheet. You have to use it to get better. This is all about closing the loop. See, evaluation isn't some report you file away and forget about. It's a living, breathing cycle. You review the feedback against the goals you set in the beginning. You look for patterns. You implement concrete changes to make the training better next time. And then you monitor those results and repeat the whole cycle. It's a constant process of getting better.
And really, this is the big takeaway. Here is the mental shift we all need to make. Evaluation isn't the finish line. It's not a report card. It's the engine that powers your growth. When you get this right, you build a culture where every program learns from the last one, getting more effective and more impactful every single time. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge, just a simple one. Look at everything we've talked about today, from SMART goals to surveys to tracking behavior. Don't try to do it all at once. Just ask yourself, what is the one small thing my team could start measuring tomorrow to get a clearer picture of our training's impact? Start there. That's how you begin to build a real culture of learning. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.